The house is quiet when Diogo zips up the last of his travel bags. It's well past 11, but the air inside the stone-walled home near Porto feels still and breathless, like a stage waiting for its final act. Upstairs, a soft light flickers. Behind a door left ajar, his wife, Ruth, is awake, but doesn't come down. Their last conversation earlier in the evening had ended with a long silence. Not a fight, not quite, but enough for things to feel unfinished. André waits in the driveway, hands in the pockets of his jacket, shoulders curled slightly forward. He leans against the white Lamborghini Huracan like he's not supposed to be there. He checks his phone. No messages. No missed calls. Just the glow of the screencasting. A faint reflection in his eyes. He's younger, more open than his brother, but tonight, even he looks restrained. The usual jokes don't come. His foot taps rhythmically against the gravel. Diogo steps out into the cool summer night. The car's sleek curves catch the streetlight. He nods without a word. The doors hiss open with a soft thump. They both slide in, buckled up. Lights on. The driveway gate swings wide. Midnight is near when they roll onto the highway. The road east towards Zamora cuts through soft hills, moonlit and empty. Diogo's hands grip the wheel loosely, but his jaw is tight. He hasn't touched the stereo. The only sound is the hum of the engine and the shifting wind outside. They had planned to leave early morning, around 9 or 10, maybe even wait a day. But then a message arrived. One André didn't TC. Just a glance, Diogo gave his phone, then a quiet change of plans. Now they're here, chasing the night. André finally speaks. You sure about this road? Diogo doesn't answer at first. Then, without taking his eyes off the road, he mutters, fastest way to Santander. He's technically right. The A52, also called the Rías Bajas Highway, cuts through the Spanish interior like a blade. It's a road built for speed, but it's also one with a reputation. Locals call it cursed, a driver's trap. Dozens have died along its twists and climbs, especially at night. But that doesn't seem to bother Diogo, or maybe it does. But he's the kind of man who doesn't flinch when the moment demands calm. The car picks up speed as they pass into Spanish territory. Border lights blur behind them. In the glove compartment, a folded ferry ticket is tucked beside his passport. Santander to Plymouth, set for July 4th, 8 a.m. Just in time to catch Liverpool's pre-season. He's been gone long enough. Klopp would have waited. But Jota didn't want to be late. André scrolls through his playlist, but doesn't press play. He glances at his brother. You told Ruth we'd call her? Yeah? A beat. Diogo's eyes flick to the rear view, then forward again. Yeah, but he doesn't reach for the phone. Instead, he adjusts his grip. The Lamborghini eats up the road ahead. The highway thickens with trees on either side, their branches casting spider-like shadows under the glow of the headlights. The silence between the brothers grows deeper. It's not uncomfortable, but it's weighted, as if something lingers in the back seat with them. André shifts in his seat. You ever think about quitting? Tigo raises an eyebrow. Football. No. André says quickly, almost laughing. Running, chasing, pushing everything so hard. Diogo doesn't laugh. Sometimes, a T doesn't elaborate. And André doesn't T-press. He knows his brother. There's always something left unsaid. Always a layer under the calm. Ahead, a sign looms. Zamora, 275 kilometers. A truck glides by in the opposite lane. Headlights flashing like a warning dot at a roadside gas station. Diogo pulls in. Just a few cars, closed convenience store, a dim vending machine buzzing faintly near the door. He kills the engine. André steps out to stretch. The air is sharp, clean. He lights a cigarette he'll probably toss halfway through. Diogo doesn't move at first. just stares at the dark trees beyond the road. Then, slowly, he pulls his phone from the dashboard and steps away. From the car, he dials, waits, it rings. Once, twice, no answer. He tries again. Same result. He pockets the phone and doesn't say anything. When he returns to the car, André notices the shift. Was that route? Diogo shakes his head. Agent, André doesn't believe it, but doesn't challenge him. He's learning too. Let things sit back on the road. The headlights cut deeper into the curves now. The A52 is no longer flat. It's turning, climbing. The shoulders narrow. The trees lean in. The Lamborghini roars a little louder, hugging tight corners with ease, but there's tension now. The speed has changed. Not reckless, but rushed. Like Diogo's chasing something invisible down the Centrale, they pass an old toll station abandoned, overgrown, ghostly in the dark. The wheels thump lightly across faded lines. Why'd you wait so long to leave? André asks suddenly. Diogo blinks. What do you mean? You packed 2 hours ago. Just waited. Diogo's silent for a moment. Didn't feel right. To leave yet? The answer is honest, but vague. Like everything else tonight, the younger brother watches him. The line of his jaw, the way his fingers twitch once on the wheel. He's holding something. Not fear, not quite, but weight. And then, just past 12:15 a.m., the air shifts. A soft rattle beneath the car. Brief, almost imperceptible. A whisper of vibration. André glances down. You feel that? Diogo nods, but doesn't slow. The curve ahead is long and wide, cutting along a small cliffside, bordered by crumbling guardrail. The kind of place where light doesn't reach the valley below. They pass a lone reflector sign, then another, then darkness. The road narrows as the forest thickens, branches from tall pine and oak trees forming a partial tunnel overhead. The Lamborghini's headlights slice through the dark, reflecting off signposts like eyes blinking in the distance. Midnight has passed. The A52 feels deserted, as if the world has gone to sleep and left only the two of them awake, drifting forward inside a sleek machine they no longer control. Inside the car, the tension sharpens. Not a word is spoken, yet the silence is screaming. André shifts again, his hand resting on the door handle as if testing its resistance. He leans toward the center console. You want me to drive for a bit? Diogo doesn't even glance. No. A firm no, not irritated, not cold. Just final, André docenti, push it. But the unease in his gut has grown harder to ignore. Something about the way Diogo stares at the road, like he's chasing more than just distance. His brother looks tired, not physically, but emotionally. Wrung out like a man returning from somewhere he never wanted to go. The dashboard glows faintly. Digital readouts blink, 140 kilometers per hour. Outside, the wind picks up. A strong gust buffets the car from the side, and Diogo's hands tighten slightly on the wheel. The tires hum against the road, but that faint vibration is back. It comes and goes, always on the left rear side. A rhythmic whisper, barely perceptible. Diogo doesn't mention it. He's already calculated it's not urgent. Not yet, but André notices. He keeps glancing back, as if expecting the wheel to shift or the engine to falter. Diogo's phone buzzes once in the center console. He ignores it. Then it buzzes again. This time, he reaches over, flicks the screen just long enough to read. The preview and tosses it back. André catches the name on the screen. Route caller. He says quietly. Diogo exhales through his nose. Doesn't respond. She's probably awake, André adds. Diogo tightens his jaw. I know. Still. He doesn't call. A long minute passes. Then André speaks again, more carefully. She didn't want you to drive, did she? Diogo's fingers twitch on the wheel. his knuckles pale. She didn't understand. André doesn't need to ask what that means. He already knows. Everyone had questions when Diogo announced his choice to drive through Spain rather than take a medical flight. It seemed excessive, dangerous even. But Diogo had waved it off now. As trees whip past and the road winds tighter, André starts to wonder if something more had fueled that decision. Did the doctors tell you something? You didn't say. He asks, voice low. No. Pause. But they didn't tell me everything either. That lands heavy. Diogo never admits things like that. André turns to look at him fully now. Then what's this really about? No answer. The car speeds on in. The distance, a red light blinks from a service tower. A warning. Or maybe just a landmark. But it pulses steadily, marking each second they move closer to whatever end this road holds. A shape appears in the headlights, a head-on animal. Maybe a fox or a stray dog dashes across the highway. Diogo swerves gently, not enough to alarm, but enough to snap both of them into sharper alertness. André leans back. Man, this road, Diogo murmurs, not much farther. The tires shift again. This time, André feels it more clearly. A subtle wobble, a leftward pull. Nothing catastrophic, but enough to make the hairs on his arms rise. You sure the tires are good? Just heat, Diogo answers. Rubber expands. He says it like someone repeating something he's read. But his voice wavers slightly. Not from fear, but from calculation. Diogo is a man who trusts his senses more than anyone else's. If he hasn't pulled over, it's because he believes he can manage it. André doesn't argue, but he sits up straighter, alert now. Another road sign flicks by Sanabria, 10 kilometers. The town is small, sparse, known mostly for its lake and its hills. But more importantly, it's the last real checkpoint before the wildest stretch of the A52 begins. André watches his brother. You ever think maybe something's trying to stop you? Diogo's lip twitches. You believe in that? André shrugs. Sometimes I wonder. Diogo doesn't answer, but his fingers tighten again on the wheel. For the first time, his eyes leave the road momentarily and glance upward toward the sky. It's starless, clouded over. The kind of night where light feels swallowed. No moonlight, no reflections. Just ink. He sighs. I thought the drive would be easier. You mean physically? André asks. Diogo's voice is barely a whisper. I mean everything. A silence stretches. Then she's scared. You? Diogo shakes his head. Of losing me? André takes that in. They drive another full minute before he speaks again. She already did. Part of you's still stuck in that clinic. Another silence, then, quietly, yeah. The car begins to climb again. The road curves. No other vehicles in sight now. The A52 is theirs alone. Even the roadside reflectors have started thinning out. Diogo checks the side mirror. Empty black dot, and then ahead a faint glimmer. Headlights, a truck, approaching in the distance. It's in the opposite lane, wide and slow. Diogo presses gently on the accelerator, preparing to overtake it at the next straightaway. André stiffens slightly. The road narrows again. You sure you want to? Pass here? Plenty of space. But the tire? I said, it's fine. His voice is sharper now. They round the curve and the straightaway opens up. The truck is only 100 meters ahead. Diogo flicks the blinker, shifts lanes. André grips the seat. A shiver passes through the car. Then dash thunk. A sudden jolt. Rear. Left, the wheel tugs right for half a second. Diogo steadies it instantly, his foot twitching toward the brake but choosing not to engage yet. Shit, André gasps. Diogo breathes through his teeth. Just a bump. Keep steady. The Lamborghini surges forward, now beside the truck. The rumble of the larger vehicle vibrates through the cabin walls. Diogo presses harder. They're halfway past. Then, pop. Sharp, loud, instant. The left rear tire bursts, the world tilts, and in that one frozen second, everything changes. The steering wheel jerks violently in Diogo's hands. The left rear corner of the Lamborghini sinks, dragging the frame downward. There's a metallic screech as the rim bites into the asphalt. For one instant, maybe less than a second, he tries to correct, turning the wheel gently right, easing off the throttle. But they're already too far into the overtake. The massive truck is inches to their left, the crash barrier barely 2 meters to their right. There's nowhere to go, no space to breathe. The Lamborghini fishtails André lets out a sound half warning, half instinct. He reaches for the dash. The door, anything to brace against what's coming. Diogo's teeth clench. His foot finds the brake, but not all the way down. He's trying to glide it, not fight it. The rear of the car skids sideways into the far lane. Rubber smears the pavement. A blast of horn from the truck behind them. The world narrowing into a roar. Then the right tires catch on the shoulder's edge. The car lifts. The entire chassis tilts and spins counterclockwise. A half roll begins not end over end, but a sideways pirouette that sends it into the metal barrier. First impact, the left front smashes into the guardrail. The energy from the blown tire carries the car up and over. There's a moment of silence. Less than a breath while the vehicle hangs in midair. Then gravity reclaims it. Second impact. The Lamborghini slams roof first into a dry, shallow ravine. On the other side, the front end crumples. The engine roars, once then fails. The silence after is not total. Something hisses, something ticks. Metal groans under pressure. The dust hasn't even settled yet. Inside the cabin, airbags have deployed. But too late. The force of the crash has driven both seats sideways. Diogo's left hand, still gripping the wheel, is crushed against the doorframe. His eyes open, but not blinking, stare out into the brush. Unfocused André doesn't move. There's a whisper of smoke curling from the rear. Then a flicker of orange. A soft, almost beautiful flame catching against fuel-streaked grass. A spark dances across the carbon fiber. No sirens yet, no help. The fire blooms. It starts small. Licks at the underside of the car, teasing the rear axle, then spreads along the fuel line. In under 90 seconds, the undercarriage is engulfed. The smoke turns black. 3 minutes later, the car is completely ablaze. It's not visible from the highway. The curve hides it. The crash made no earth-shaking sound. The truck had braked, but continued on. The driver unaware of what exactly happened behind him, only seeing a car disappear from view. In that ditch, in the darkness, the flames burn with a hunger that doesn't belong on this quiet road. It will be 17 minutes before the first emergency call comes in. Couple in a camper van, slowing for a rest stop nearby, see smoke rising like a signal. By then, the fire has already done its work. When the Guardia Civil arrives, they find only twisted metal and ashdot bodies, unrecognizable at first, but a watch remains. Half melted, still strapped to a scorched wrist. Simple engraving on the back are plus DSEMPR. The next day, investigators recovered Diogo's phone from the wreck. Damaged, but the SIM is intact. 1. Unread message, timestamped 12:14 a.m. From route, please don't leave yet. I had a bad feeling. The ferry ticket is found folded in the glove compartment. Santander to Plymouth. Seat reserved. No check-in recorded. The police note the cause as a mechanical failure, aggravated by high speed and tire pressure imbalance. The burst was clean, no signs of puncture or tampering. Just heat. Where? Fate. Questions linger. Why didn't Diogo stop when he first felt the vibration? Why did he drive that road at that hour with his brother beside him? Why didn't he call route back? No one will ever truly know what passed between the two men during those final moments. No final words, no cries recorded. Just the silence of two brothers meeting fate in sync, in a machine built for glory. Undone by the most fragile of things, attire, a turn, a second too late. In the days that follow, the headlines mourn the cute, mourn the footballer, tributes pour in. From Liverpool, from Portugal, from teammates and fans. But behind closed doors, in hushed voices, people ask different questions. Not just how Diogo Jota died, but why he was really on that road at all. Was he escaping something, or simply trying to outrun the silence? Back in Porto, Ruth lights a candle and places it near the wedding photo taken only 11 days before the crash. In the picture, Diogo is smiling not wide, but gently, the way he always did. The house is quiet again, but this time, it won't be broken by a closing suitcase or the rumble of an engine outside. It will stay quiet, and the road will remember.